take a little souvenir from the trip today. This one, it should be the same as Mars and Gastonia.
Okay.
So you can see it's like not huge, but like you probably put a TV here, or some people may even put a TV over there. And it's like, you have enough, if you put a TV over here, you do have enough room for a big couch here. Or you put a TV here and you can still do like couch here, chairs here, or couch.
Walkway still from behind.
Right. With like a dining area.
I do like backsplash in the...
It looks good.
It does. Are they going silver or black with it though?
I don't know. They might do black on the bottom and silver up top. Oh, and then so the other thing that they talked about that they're gonna do is on the side of this home, so right in here, they're gonna drop a fence all the way through here. So it'll kind of just be one fence that goes behind the 3 houses, and then...
Are they gonna divvy up more fences on these sides?
No, but they're just gonna do that to keep that one private.
Okay.
Kind of helps with privacy and whatnot. I'd be curious to see which one will sell. And that's one thing I want to think about while we're here is like which one to list first.
In my mind, it's gonna be one on these streets.
Not that one.
No. I think
Facing all that. Yeah.
I really think people are gonna struggle with that back one.
Whoa. Oh. So laundry.
There's a lot.
That's water shut off.
Is this garage?
No, there's no garage. That's like
yeah,
a coat
maybe.
closet. A lot of closets.
So
This could kind of like function as a pantry.
what about this? This is like...
This I would use as like utilities. I'd hang the vacuum in here, put a couple of random things in here. That's your water shut off.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like a
Sorry.
lonely little guy.
Then that's a closet.
Okay.
So this is probably primary. Which like the thought too is like someone that's buying this, like they're not finding new construction at this price point.
No. And or if they're just investing, you know, they want somebody that's gonna want a rental.
This is what's nice though.
Is this the pull down?
I'll leave it.
Looks like it's caught. Too long. I'm gonna throw.
Oh, yeah, it's stuck. But the thought process, like the thing with this too is coming here to see everything beforehand.
Right.
So you just have a general idea. If someone calls, you know what it looks like when you're talking to them.
This one, 405 we had. 401.
This is 401.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the picture in my head too because I swallow up all those sign calls.
You do?
Yeah. Yeah. Normally I'm
Bathroom and 2
answering those things if I'm not on the phone. But I mean, people are always calling for it. I'm always like, let me double check.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just off top of head know.
So
I mean, these
make a note like huge walk-in master closet, primary closet.
These are decent sized. Like, I mean, you're gonna put a queen, but you're gonna be, you know, you got room for things. Your neighbor Joe.
Yeah. I think the main feedback is just going to be the C Street and some of the there's a dog and some of the houses here.
I almost wonder if maybe it's if they're gonna do a fence on here in between, would it be worth doing one on the other side of that home?
We'll see when we go over there.
Kind of figure out a little separation.
For $250 to get new construction, like, granted, this is like it used to be super popular because with lower interest rates at $250, your mortgage payment's like $1,500,
Yeah.
maybe less.
Well, and
Probably like
You have a-
$1,200 a month, and now
you have a nice margin when you rent it out.
this is actually, I'm glad you pointed this out about the cabinets, because this is something like I'm gonna text the seller and be like, hey, just like, there's like 4 cabinets that have different handles.
Yeah. A little bit of bubbling going on there. Do you think a little moisture got there?
Just take like a picture and just so they can, that way I can like send this to them and they can see like, okay.
A little moisture on the outside of that pocket or that socket.
Here.
Yeah. I don't. It might not even be moisture, but it just looks like something got in behind there.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff they like fix in their punch. So like
Right.
a lot of the times with this, when you see stuff like this in new construction, it's, you know, one guy did something, the other guy just painted over it and left it there.
There's a lot of eyes and hands that touch
Yeah.
it all.
And then once you get towards the completion, it's like someone's coming through here with a fine tooth comb and they're gonna see this and they're gonna mark it up and the painter will come back, probably sand it, clean this stuff up too. That's whatever's here. Sand this down and repaint it.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, yeah. These look
Pretty
nice.
standard. These sellers use like one of 3 or 4 different combo codes. So it's like, that's the other thing coming out here, just verifying how to access the property. The last thing you need is to list it. And then the first showing, someone's like, I can't get in, your combo doesn't work.
Got to get all the way out in Cherryville.
Especially for 4 of them.
Yeah.
And the thing with this is like, it's not easy getting someone to just come out here and do this. So like when I pay the runner, like I'll probably have to pay him like 50 to $100 just to come out here every time.
I mean, coming from Waxhaw, Weddington, that's a bit of a hike.
All right, so look, so that one I put corner lot, huge walk-in primary closet, good sized bedrooms, different cabinet handle colors. I'll send this picture of that to the seller, and then the combo number.
Okay.
So then for here, I'm just gonna drop 403 West First. Same thing.
You taking a picture of it?
Yeah, I already did.
Okay.
All right, see, so like cabinet handles are fine here.
Yeah.
So this is the same floor plan as
Outlets on the
401
side are here.
West First Street.
So this is identical to the other one?
Yeah, this one's identical.
Okay.
So this would probably be, yeah, same exact closet.
Valve turn-offs in there and everything.
Water,
Yeah.
same thing. With this though, so when you start, like with the developments, when you start getting like multiple houses like this in a row, especially if they're all gonna be finished kind of like the same time, there's a lot of strategy that goes into like when you list each of these. So with the fact that they have 4 of them here, like I'm probably gonna tell them to list 1 first. Like list 1 first.
Almost as like a feedback and a
Well, and just
engagement.
see how it plays out.
Okay.
And then if that one flies off at 250,
Put 2 more.
go ahead and list the next one for 255. Or maybe list 2 of them for 255 next. If that one sits there, then maybe you wait a week or 2 and list another one for 250, just to like kind of, the idea is then you're getting it in front of more buyers again without having to reduce the price because you're just bringing another one to market.
Gotcha, okay. All right.
Just take a quick peek, make sure this all looks the same. There was carpet in the one next door, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the rooms, except for the bathroom and the kitchens.
Yeah, these are identical. It's nice though.
If I was a gambling man, I would assume the next one's the same way.
Well, it's a good thing you're not because it is not.
Damn. Never said I was a good gambling man either, though.
405 West First Street.
I think you need a 4-wheeler to fit in around here.
Now, one thing to note, here, take a step to your left. Thanks. One thing to note here is those both had wider driveways than this one, I think.
This is pretty narrow. So those are like more of a 2-car, 3-car? 2-car. Less slope on those two.
Well, it's a little longer versus like wider.
Right.
So you got laundry here. So not as big of a laundry.
So they all have just the slab out here?
This one, I might tell them it would be worth putting the fence up here too.
Absolutely.
So again, that's where it's like, I'm gonna just worth putting.
Like you see that right there? It's like, it's literally in your side yard. So it's
Yeah.
like, if you could divvy that up, it'd probably be helpful. This guy's running his own auto shop over here.
To be honest, I'm gonna tell them that it's worth just completely fencing off all of these.
Yeah.
Right, because it's like, just go ahead and make them a little more private. Like, you know.
It's not like you have to go break the bank on it, but just have something that's gonna divvy it up.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, these are really nice homes for.
That's gonna be the main feedback from buyers, I think, is just
I already see it coming in.
privacy.
Privacy. We're in the neighbor's side yard. So they got their.
So yeah, you can see how this one's different.
Yep. This would be the main, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another decent sized closet, smaller. But here's the reason why it's good to know that, because it's like, say we list this one first, and someone goes, oh man, like their main hang up was the primary closet's not too big. It's like, okay, well, if you're still out there, like why don't you go over next door? Those two are the same but different than this one. And they both have a huge primary closet.
Right.
Because also that's where if someone comes out here, just knowing the difference between all these different houses based on which ones are listed, which ones aren't listed, that we can like speak to a buyer's agent about it. So if someone comes out here, it's like, hey, yeah, sure, go ahead and look at the one next door.
There might be some feedback from people too, as far as like.
Oh yeah. Which is why I'm leaning towards now, like having them list one of the, well.
So now you're thinking one of these two.
There's argument for listing this first because it's going to be harder to sell. But if you gain the other idea is you gain a little traction. So actually, now that I think about it, they should list probably the one on the corner first, 401, because that's a better floor plan than this. Get that one sold, then list C Street and this one, 405. And then as soon as these sell, list 403, because that's going to be the most attractive one.
Well, you could almost probably do that one where it doesn't even hit. Somebody's like, I love it.
Right.
And it's like, well, let's talk. Because we're going to post it, but. Okay.
So I'm going to say list 401, then.
First one on the corner.
Then.
405 or this one over here?
405, then C Street, then 403 last, right? Because then it's like I can talk strategically with the seller about why I want to do that, and not just like listing the best one first or.
Well, it could, yeah. Well, and let's say something's sitting because it's C Street, but all of a sudden, now you put the second one on the market. Now you're still getting eyes to come over and potentially see those.
So a little bit tighter. This is actually a decent sized bedroom. But again, you got to think like a kid who's living in here is probably just gonna be sleeping in like a twin bed.
Right.
So you don't need something huge.
Bunk beds.
And again,
more space.
250, like a buyer that's buying at 250 out here was probably looking at like up to 200 or 220. And like some of the houses are starting to look like across the street at that price.
Right.
So you can come over here and it might be a little bit smaller, but it's brand new.
It's a bigger closet in here. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, that is big. All right. Because also, the whole thing is like, when you're talking to a seller, when they have 4 of these on the same like street, we can go walk down to C Street. You need to be able to be well versed in all of the different homes and addresses, because they are,
Right.
you know? Same kind of thing when you're talking about like the land and everything. It's like he knows those forwards and backwards. You just need to be confident in it too.
Right.
See how their pad is wider?
Yeah.
I've had dogs in like, I think it was Gastonia, that have literally followed us, like just hanging out in the street, and followed me and the buyer into a showing.
Wait, can we come with you?
Literally, that was what they were trying to do. Let me take a picture out here real quick. 301 C Street. Nice and easy to remember. Oh, thank you. You're fine. You can leave it on. Yeah.
Let's say. Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them that they should just fence all of it. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be good to have a fence on the left. Oh, you know what? He said it was gonna be a fence on the left side of this house, so they're putting a fence there all the way across that back to keep, I think, all of this open.
Group it still.
That's what they're gonna be doing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take a picture of that. The other thing that I do too is I'll take a picture of the front of the house first. That way I know that any pictures after that are of that house. So that way, like when I get home, I can like reference that.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, so they're putting carpet down. We don't have to go in that room.
Washer dryer.
Yeah. Yeah, same exact thing. Take a little souvenir from the trip today. You can kind of get a feel for the 4 different houses, because you know we're going to be listing these while I'm gone.
So these are gonna come live during week 1 or 2 of honeymoon.
Probably week 2.
Okay.
But the idea will be probably list that one first, 405. Or sorry, 401, then 405, then C, then 403. It's the Cherryville Welcoming Committee, right here.
I love this little boxer over here.
Oh yeah.
You're the one I'm scared most of, little one.
The little one.
Oh yeah.
The other thing that'll be good too with stuff like this is like figuring out like what you could rent it for, just because if people call and ask, like if it's an investor and they're like, oh, I'm thinking about investing in it, like, what do you think you could rent it for? It's like, oh, well, you know, you could probably get like, you know, $2,000 a month for these. There's a couple in the neighborhood or in the area that are renting for like $1,800 to $2,500. So $2,000 a month is probably pretty safe, like that kind of thing. So we can go back into 401 real quick and confirm everything in here. Make sure it all looks good. Yeah, you can see how this is wider compared to the other two. That's where it's like you sell one of these first and you can get a little bit of traction. So yeah, this would be the first one I think I would list
Yeah.
at 250.
I think that's the best way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
Between the layout, I think it's going to allow you to get more momentum. I don't think you want to start with the lowest
Yeah, I agree.
one to.
But also don't want to start with the best one, which is
Right.
403.
You get the driveway and you get this floor plan.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you could probably jump that one up more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean.
What do you think? What else are you thinking or wanting to see?
I think the fence is your biggest concern.
Yeah. That's gonna be the big thing I'm gonna try and talk to the seller about. Make sure we have fencing, because it's
gonna
also
be
like,
it's an eyesore.
yeah, and it's like a lot of these buyers aren't gonna wanna have to put up a fence.
No. I mean, you're already trying to sell it at a $250 price point. It's an area where it is a little bit lower income, so it's like anything that helps them
Yeah.
get a little bit further along without having to think about future projects, I think's a win for them.
Yeah, I would agree.
No, I mean,
Pretty nice.
other than they gotta switch it to black or silver, but
Yeah.
I think they're good. These are nice builds.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm standing in 401 West 1st Street.
There you go, man. How's it look?
It looks good. You got, this one has the cabinetry, the hardware on part of the cabinetry is like totally different color than the rest of it.
Will you take a picture of that for me?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
That's funny.
But yeah, dude, I mean, these are nice. And I think my only thing, for you guys is gonna be fencing. I think it's gonna be worth fencing each of these if you can.
Scheduled, so we have it scheduled to do one long fence along the area where that like junk is on that, whatever, I think it's like C Street, the house is on C Street. So we have them doing a fence all the way down that line. And that's all we were gonna do just because of the cost of it. But are you thinking we should fence all of them is what you're saying?
Yeah, even if it's like white vinyl fencing, I think it might be worth it. Bare minimum, I would say we should at least do the one on the left side of C Street, like you were talking about, and then the one on the right side of 405 to almost like close this in as like a mini like community in a way.
Yeah, and then they can fence in as they want. I mean, that's what we do then to preserve cost. We do like the L, and then we just let them fence in. Because we were going to do a wooden fence like we did in Statesville.
Yeah, that's where it's like you might be able to even get away with. I'd be curious the pricing difference between wood and vinyl. Like you may even be able to just get away with like a white vinyl fence. If you want more information on these and you're looking to buy an investment property in Cherryville, drop a comment below.